the skin. And there are scales, there is no evidence of, any type of feather or fluff or whatever. And this is just like we're talking about a patch of skin. It's not like, entire animal. And what I've read on a couple of other articles, the soft tissue, the feather and stuff like that, this is really difficult, material to be preserved and to be fossilized. So who's to tell that, Carnotaurus really didn't have feather? Maybe they found just a patch of, the patch that was maybe, belonging to a part of an animal that, at this particular spot, the animal did not have feather. Then secondly, maybe the feather simply deteriorated, just, rotten, just, trying to figure out the word. Yeah, just simply did not manage to be preserved, just like, these harder scutes and, these harder scales that were able to somehow, preserve and leave an imprint in ground or whatever, were covered with, mudslide or whatever, and just were fossilized. Okay, so I see a link. Yeah, this is it. Exactly. This is the concept that I did, just for the heck of it. I think I realized that there wasn't a single Carnotaur with feathers, so I just thought to myself, why not try and make a concept. And some people reacted like overreacted, maybe, like, what's wrong with you? It doesn't have feathers. Don't you know that? What kind of idiot are you? Bullshit. What are you doing? And so, it's not that I don't know it. It's just like we all really don't know it if you look at it, because who's to tell that Carnotaurus didn't have feather, or who's to tell that any dinosaur didn't have feather? I mean, it's really hard to imagine, like, big sauropods, covered in, like, long and large fluffy feathers, like Big Bird from Sesame Street. It's really hard to imagine that, but reality is, some of these things might, remain mystery for us for, forever. And all coming from the fact that, soft tissue and feather is the first to rot off, on a dead animal. And so, and even if it's covered in mud, and even if it's, potentially, a good candidate to be fossilized, this is still a material that, is hard to preserve. And I read some article on I'm not sure which species they found, and they were discussing the best preserved dinosaurs, skin patches, and even the feathery and downy fowls are coming like from some parts of Germany where the ground was like, really good for, just, the type of ground that was like special and enabled, the dead animals to be literally mummified or, preserved at a greater level. So it's like, if your dead dinosaur gets covered by this or that type of mud, it's really not the same, because of the ground, the ground composition, the stuff that goes in. I'm not like, I'm not a professional, I'm not an expert, but just, reading these things um, my brain starts to work, and I start to think about stuff. And okay, so yeah, definitely. Thanks, thank you, thanks for the kind words, Eric. Um, I mean, uh, yeah, definitely, I agree as well. Also, like people tend to overreact when like I have a piece that's called, like, I think moment before extinction, and in this piece you have like a herd of diplodocus type of dinosaurs, and they're all like gathered around this, like some sort of like a black hole, energy type of thing in the center of the illustration. And this piece is uh, it's the um, it's a type of genre, like paleo fiction. It's not paleo art or paleo. I don't know other terms for paleontology illustrations. Paleo art, I guess it's the only one. I'm not sure. So this piece is definitely not paleo art. It's paleo fiction, piece. So you can easily also classify yourself as not you know paleo fiction artist, or I don't know, or just uh, you can just easily oh, okay, my brain's starting to shut down. I'm sorry, trying to make a point but failing to do so. Yeah, this is the link. Thanks, Adamosaurus. That's the illustration. The fun thing about this illustration is also that most of the people never ever notice this, is that there are aliens portrayed in this illustration as well. You just need to zoom in close enough to be able to see them. But most of the people never see these aliens, like, ever. And actually, yeah, this is I'm not sure why I'm not able to zoom in into this piece. Probably because of that as well. But don't want to get too philosophical about dinosaurs and stuff like that. But generally, when I think about dinosaurs and when I want to create dinosaurs and model dinosaurs, I tend to uh, especially given the last couple of years where these new findings are emerging, and where this realization comes in that dinosaurs share a lot of things with birds. And so I tend to look at dinosaurs through the especially through the flightless birds, like ostriches and cassowaries and stuff like that. And so just one look at those feet, and nothing else needs to be said. And if you're an imaginary person, you can take those feet and expand on those feet, and give it a fully fledged dinosaur, regardless of the species, or you know. But I was saying before that this way of creating scales is actually not too, it's just not too good. It's probably not the way to do it, especially the part of the scales that goes from, you know, from the wrist and from the palm up. These scales that are, you know, covering tibia, I'm sorry, radius and ulna. So let me see. Okay, let me quickly save this again. All right. So, for the purpose of demonstrating my point, and we'll compare this result with what we'll do a little bit later. As I announced a little bit earlier, I'm going to take a shortish break of about 2 hours or so, and I'll post a link, and I'll notify you guys on the Facebook page. And I'm not sure what happens if you subscribe on Twitch. When I go live, do you have some sort of notification? Because I'm new to Twitch, I just started with it. Basically, I'm going to come back a little bit later, and I'm going to continue, and I'm going to spend a little more time with this forelimb, and I'm going to try and not necessarily improve, but, you know, try and do something different, and try and do something that I think would maybe make this forelimb look a little bit better. To break up this, you know, spam fest in form of these scales that are happening right now. So, okay, I'm going to close this stream right now, and we'll catch you guys a little bit later.